So, good morning. It's really nice to be here in Bratislava as we spoke. You have a problem with sound or it's okay? It's okay. So, my name is Ivan Bolfan. I'm leading server business for Central Eastern Europe and Dell. This is the collection of the 30 countries. And I'm really happy that we have finally this face-to-face event after many webinars and many online interactions. So, I almost forgot to put my, my shoes and my lower part of the clothes, in order to meet you, but it's really nice feeling. Today, I need to start my presentation how usually the presentation ends, and this is with big thank you. Why with big thank you? First of all, thank you for your time, because you came here today, and we know that the time is more precious thing which you can have. You can buy everything else, but you cannot buy a time, so thank you for that. But also, I wanted to thank you for your trust into our capabilities, and I think we all were very successful in calendar year 2022. What that means, and what I'm showing you on the screen, this means that not only that we are proud what we achieved as a Dell in this region with being a #1 server provider here, but I think we all did a great job. What do I mean? I mean that our channel partners put a lot of effort in order on top of our hardware technology to provide additional services for you, for our customers, so you can actually get the final IT product which you need for your application. And then you, our customers, created the final value which we believe drive human progress. And this is what I'm telling to my kids. If you want to send a message to your colleague, if you want to do online chatting, if you want to do your homework over different tools which you are using, you need a server. It means that somebody put their intellectual property on top of the server which created some new product. New product in the public services, new product in the banking services, and we are all using it. And actually, we are believing that this is our contribution into the driving the human progress. And this is actually why we are doing what we are doing. But you know what? We don't want to stop there, right? We are super happy with our portfolio on the 14G and the 15G, but now it's time to do the next step, right? And we believe we are ready to introduce you today the PowerEdge next generation of our servers. But before going into the details, which Sasha and Dira will present later, I wanted to see what we were discussing with our customers when we were designing the new servers. And why this is important? Because in order to create really technology which you need, we can't know exactly what you need. We need to look on the industry trends. We need to speak with you to understand what do you need, what do you plan. And what is the outcome of that conversation? First of all, it's a multi-cloud world, full stop, right? It's not a discussion, will the workloads run on-prem or in cloud. It is on-prem and in the cloud. So it's not one or another, it's one with another. And this is what we got, and this is what we are aware, and this is what we incorporated into the design of our servers. But then when we look and when we discuss with you what you are looking to drive forward is actually, we saw that around 70% of the customers looking to implement some way of the artificial intelligence in their environment. What does this mean? Well, basically, we all have a lot of databases, but we are using it up onto the transactional and some reporting. And what we also inside Dell using today, we started to use the algorithm which help us to make a decision. And on my position, we already have several algorithms which advise me about our next move, about our positioning, about some of our numbers, if you want, about some of our pricing, competitive position, and so on and so forth. And there is a lot of discussion in the industry about will artificial intelligence change us or exchange us, right? And I'm a strong believer that there will be no artificial intelligence who will do the presentation instead of me now. But it will be the algorithm which will help me to understand who you are, to whom I'm speaking now. So for example, if I go to the meeting, you need to prepare for every meeting, right? And then, let's be honest, who sometimes went on the meeting that didn't know exactly what you want? I did, right? I believe you did also. So what I'm looking from the artificial intelligence is that it gives me all the data, all the bullet points, so I can make the better decisions, so I can prepare better for the customer meeting and so on and so forth. And honestly, we are seeing it each and every day. I don't know if you saw on the public sites, but we are already testing our support digital assistant. So you will have a nice digital assistant. I don't know, should I call it lady, because it is it, right? Who will make a first discussion with you, and then it will divert you to the correct person, right? So what's the value in that one? We want to automate some process at the beginning, right? But still, I'm a strong believer that face-to-face, that the relationship, the discussion over a coffee next to the nice new Edge server which we have here is invaluable, and that will never be changed. So again, what the customer says, that 70% of our customers are looking to invest in this part. Other part is Edge. Servers are becoming not only any more data center equipment. You can find the servers in many retail shops. You can find the servers in many trains. You can find servers into the lot of different strange environment, if you want, on the farms, in the next to the telco 5G antennas and so on and so forth. Honestly, in my country, we have one big customer who is looking to, who developed already self-driving vehicle. And self-driving vehicle as an experiment can work, but in order to implement something what we are calling smart city of the future, you actually need a lot of edge servers of every corner of the street. And here I'm not talking only about self-driving vehicle, I'm talking about a smart garbage disposal, which will tell exactly which garbage is full and which needs to be filled in, and when the self-driving truck will arrive it and pick it up. So it looks like not artificial intelligence, science fiction movie, right? But if you look 10 years back, when I was a kid, there was some TV series, not to make commercial now, which looked like we will never have that kind of things, right? When I look at my home office today, I have a Bluetooth, headset, I have this, I have that, I can be with Zoom almost everywhere. In the same time, we are using a lot of those technologies already. And then on the end, what about cloud? What we see is actually beside the big famous global providers, we see big rise of the local cloud providers. So we see more and more that, for example, customers in Slovakia are looking how to do some as-a-service model with some local providers, or at least European providers, not necessarily only the big 3, 4, which we recognize globally. And that's why we are also addressing with the portfolio. You will see on our booth, we have a special line of products exactly for that customers. But then looking for, again, in designing the next generation of the PowerEdge servers, we were asking what's actually happening in the IT, right? And of course, for many years, we know the data growth and the silos, right? And this is even more and more today. You have some of the data on the servers. We virtualize the data center. We made it even maybe private cloud, and this is somehow settled. But then you have maybe some workload into the public cloud. You have some new workloads on the edge, because you want to capture the data from the edge, and the data silos is growing. Of course, Zero trust and cyber security story is, I would say, on top of the priority of everybody. And honestly, you can think that if our countries here are not globally big, and we are not globally big players, but you wouldn't believe how much issues you can have even if you are one-man company, or even as a private person if you get under the cyber attack, under the target of somebody. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And what we are doing into our service, I will explain a bit later related to the cybersecurity. But what really changed in the last year is this one. Today, average server costs around 8K. 8,000 euros is the average server on the market. Running one server in terms of the electricity, power of the data center, and maintaining it for 1 year is also 8K, 7.5K in the past. So this one went up significantly with this one. So what we can do, and what we are seeing that the customers are looking for, changing the old 11, 12, even 13 generation of servers, consolidating it and addressing the whole story with our technology providers in order to drive the innovation and still keep the same cost. What do I mean? I mean that we can really look at your installed base, we can run some free live optics tools, and we can basically propose you how you can drill down significantly cost of your data center, specifically on the energy. And the new generation, and Sasha will talk in details about it, are really addressing these needs up to the point that you can really, really save a lot of money. When we ask our customers about the pain points, I already mentioned few of things, but also one is very important. Limited human resources. In our part of the world, it's very, very visible that if you are a good resource, then the company wants you to do something which is generating a new value. So with all belief and love for the servers which I have, I don't think that when you are spending time to maintain that server, to keep it updated, is a valuable spending time. So what we are doing into the designing next generation of the server is to make it automated as much as possible. We reach level 3 of level 5 of automation in maintaining the server. Level 5 automation, which we target to reach, is a self-driving server. From the moment of the deployment till the moment of retirement, we have a goal that nobody should touch the server, right? So basically you give the server instructions, it's maintain itself, it's update the firmware itself, it should be cluster aware, so on and so forth. Does this mean that the IT staff who is maintaining a server right now doesn't have a job? No. The job will be different. The job will be how to implement, how to do the new technology to drive the innovation. Consider this. If you are a bank, for example, you want to have, your new customers. What we see more and more, that first of all, it's usage of the bank. First, they want to stop fraud detection with the, advanced, not artificial intelligence. This is more machine learning and the HPC projects. But also, there is more and more digital assistance in the bank, which tells, hey, we have Ivan Bolfan in Croatia. He bought his house 15 years ago. Now, according to his profile, he should do that. So there is a more and more interaction between the company and me as a customer on the way that they are really nailing my needs, right? There is a more and more, I know one IT director of the retail shop, he said, you know what? When we see that it will be good weather, when the system see that it will be good weather for the weekend, it automatically orders more meat and more stuff for the barbecue. And it automatically creates a ticket for the marketing that we should go with the TV commercial that, you know, cevapcici, how we call it in our country, will be not be 10 euros because we implemented euros now, but 5 euros on the action. And it's done automatically. It's proposed automatically. Decisions is on the people. So basically, but this is everything what we see. It's actually we got the feedback from you. So what we did with that feedback to get to the point, right? We said, okay, customers will not throw away legacy application. You will always need your HR application, you always need your email application, you will always need your collaboration. Here, let's put the emphasis of make it simple, reduce the cost, and make it automated as we can. So basically, the new level of the management with the iDRAC and the Open Manager and Open OME, and with the Power Central inside, in order to address the energy crisis, really gives you possibility to nail it to the last moment, to see who are your zombie servers, to power cap your energy on the servers, and really drill down the cost. So the one thing is to moderate your servers on the legacy application and drill down the cost. And then the new stuff is about driving the progress. Yeah. So we build, beside refreshing across the whole portfolio, because all our servers are one portfolio with one platform, with one management system, regardless if it's a small business server, edge server, big AI machine, it's a one single platform. And inside that single platform, we did a purpose-built machines. You have XR here, which is the edge server. You want to do vSAN, you can have 2 servers in the edge everywhere. It can be into the farm, and the witness server inside it. And the witness server is server inside the chassis. And all of that is inside the small chassis, which you can see here. It can work at -10. It can work in the dusty environment. It can be in the factory. It can be in the near edge or far edge, right? Then also into the data center, we said, okay, we want to build purpose-built artificial intelligence machines, which has a lot of capabilities for driving AI. However, we are aware that not all the customers are super big companies which need thousands of the GPU. Maybe you are a customer which needs standard 2U rack server, and you want to start to develop something on the AI. So we introduce a lot of new servers like R760 and so on, where you can put a GPU and start on the level which is appropriate for our countries. Because we don't have companies here which are 15,000 employees. We have companies which are 50 employees, right? But you also need to drive that innovation. And then again, it's about the next step of the intelligence which I mentioned with the Open Manage. I'm super glad to see that when the customers are really using Open Manage. Not only Open Manage by itself, but if you are running VMware, if you are running Microsoft, if you are running something else, we can completely integrate that into their tools. So you don't need to learn our tools. However, what is really good here, that we have new level how to make it easier, how to show it. Hey, this server is showing alert. Not only that, this is your zombie server. It has 2 power supplies, 1.6 kilowatt. It's running there, but it's zombie. It's like 3% usage. Do something with that, right? And the best thing is you control what you want to have as alert. You control what you want to have as a notification. And the last thing is you can do it from here. You don't need to go back to the company to do something on our server. You can do it over a notebook here. You can do it over a mobile application here. On the end, Sasha will speak in details about the sustainability, but in terms of the cyber resiliency, it's a server which is cyber resilient now, when it doesn't exist. What does this mean? Not only that we have all the process in the factory and the only UEFI boot which is certified by the top US security agency while we are getting these projects there. Not only that it's cyber secure from the day zero, but before that, because we implement something which is called component security verification, that all of our suppliers needs to follow the special procedure in order to reach our factory in Poland, in Łódź, and to be cyber secure from the day zero. Why? Because you wouldn't believe how many of the cyber attacks are happening or trying to happen through the firmware upgrade of the components inside the server. It starts there, it sits in your environment, collects the data, and then 8 months later, it attacks you. When you start to be aware that you have cyber attack, it started few months back. And when it's ready to take everything, then you start to be aware of it. So we build it to the new level. To conclude, purpose-built to drive the innovation, intelligent, cyber-secure, and very sustainable to drive the cost of the existing workloads. That's the point of the PowerEdge Next Generation. I think I try to be quick, and on the end, doesn't matter where you want to do innovation. You want to do as a small business, big business, on the edge, into the data center, with the cloud service provider, we can talk. Because we have dedicated solution, and we can really, I think, nail all of the needs of you, our customers.